This is insane as the Memphis Grizzlies are going to miss Ja Morant for the fifth straight game. The last time he played was in that Cleveland game, which Memphis lost. Memphis fans trying to get some answers as to what's going on exactly with Morant. Taylor Jenkins provided a little bit of a tiny update. We told you that in that last video. We'll go over it again if we need to, but also what were the fans reacting and when is Ja Morant going to get back? And can they afford to miss him for any longer as the Memphis Grizzlies are going up against the Utah Jazz tonight? They need a win, folks. They hadn't had a win at all in this road trip. But hello, everybody. What's going on? Jared Altor coming at you from Grizzlies Digest, bringing the latest news, headlines, game breakdowns, and so much more for Grizzlies Digest. If you find yourself here regularly, we know we're a growing channel, but hit that subscribe button. If you find yourself here on a regular basis, whether you're waking up, whether you're about to go to bed, whether you're taking a walk with the dog, or just because that's who we are. And you can tune in whenever you'd like. So, getting into the content now. So, NBA fans concerned at the latest Ja Morant injury news, and of course, it's been a hamstring injury. It's also been described as a shoulder injury, so we don't really know exactly what is going on and for how long this has been lingering. So Memphis fans starting to finally express their concerns, and I've been concerned for a while just because Ja has played in 42 or 43 games so far this season, and he's playing some of his best ball right now. I mean, he's in his prime, and Memphis should absolutely keep him for however many cents or dollars it may cost, because he's playing some of his best basketball right now. But it's just so frustrating knowing that Memphis had such a great season up until now. They've been in a little bit of a slump because they've had plenty of injuries to Morant, Jackson, Aldama, missing Clark for the rest of the season. Obviously, that is very devastating. But some of the fans have to say this. I have to see what happened to Ja's hamstring. Like, I have two. One Grizzlies fan added. Another man said, this man drops 44 points and now he might be out for the season. Ja truly might just be a cooked product, said one overly concerned fan. I guess you can say that with that kind of language. That's very concerning. One more fan said, it's time to tell the fan base what is going on with Ja, whether it's truly just a hammy strain or not. We need some kind of update. This is getting weird. I, for one, am nervous. They may be hiding a more serious injury as they assess their options, another fan said. So, obviously this has been a main concern for a while, and many fans are just trying to get answers as to what exactly is going on. And as with me too, I mean, we provided a little bit of a tiny update about it yesterday. Over that again with Taylor Jenkins saying, and this is after the LA Clippers loss. So Taylor Jenkins saying Ja's working his tail off to get back out there. Obviously health is the biggest factor, but that allows us to have the chemistry and all that. We just got to get back, to playing the defensive intensity that we talk about, the speed. We've lost that over the last month or so. That is Memphis head coach Taylor Jenkins. So that is the update we provided for you last night as well as today too, because we wish we had more for you, but that's pretty much all we've got. And that was even before the weekend began. Friday night, I guess you can count the weekend, but either or, this is what Memphis is dealing with right now, and they need a win. I mean, they're on a slump right now. They need to beat the Utah Jazz. If they don't beat the Utah Jazz tonight, not only do they have a lot of problems, not only do they really need Ja back, but they're 2.5 games from back to second place in the West, but also 2 games back from that play-in. So, obviously a big night tonight as we go into more of what we can expect. So doubtful is Lamar Stevens with a shoulder issue, out tonight. Wow, that is a huge list right there. Marvin Bagley, Brendan Clark out for the year, G.G. Jackson in a G League assignment, Yuki, Ja Morant, and Zion pulling. So this is kind of just building onward as an increasingly concerning issue right as we get to playoff time. And like we talked about with Memphis pretty much all season long, they've been hovering at around 2 to 3 right next to Houston. And, we talked about them not getting the key wins against teams like the Lakers and the Thunder and the Cavs and the Nuggets. And, they had that awful game against the Knicks, which, it really should have won, going back to a few weeks ago. But you have to win the games that you need to win. And that for Memphis tonight has to be Utah. I understand if we don't beat the Cavs or the Thunder or, even the red hot Timberwolves at this point. They're on a tear right now. But you got to beat the teams that you got to beat, and Utah is one of them. As we go into our last image here, there we go. So that's what the standings look like right now. Obviously very tight between Houston and Memphis. I'm going to close the gap between Houston and Memphis just because of how close that is. Once you get from Houston to Golden State, that's a 5-ish game difference. So Memphis, they're still kind of hovering, near number 4 and even number 3 and number 2. They could still, folks, walk out of here with a number 2 seed. Now, the chances of that are increasingly getting a little bit more worrying by the day, just because of all the injuries and because of how Ja has been throughout the year, very inconsistent on the court. Obviously, that's not his fault. It just, the basketball gods, sometimes they don't bless you like they do with some other players. But beside the point, you got the LA Clippers kind of trying to escape that play-in tournament, as we talked just about Minnesota. Sacramento, they're probably going to stay at 9, but, Memphis are really hovering right now toward that play-in spot, and this is, very, very important for Memphis and just for their schedule overall, because they're about to have a gauntlet. You got OKC, you got the Lakers, you got the Celtics, and, that's a tough 3-game stretch, not just for Memphis, but a tough 3-game stretch for everybody. But that's going to do it for today. Let us know in the comments what you think is actually happening with Ja Morant. Is this just kind of to get us ready for an announcement where we hear Ja Morant is eventually going to miss the remainder of the season? Are we just kind of leading ourselves up to that? How do you feel about the organization being as transparent as possible? I'm not blaming Taylor Jenkins per se. He's only the head coach. He's not the medical staff. He only is providing the word of what the medical staff provides to him. So I'm not blaming Taylor Jenkins at all. But what exactly is going on with Ja, and are they just preserving this for a big announcement that we can maybe only, unfortunately, predict at this time, because it's been a while and we haven't really heard much about it. So let us know in the comments how you feel about that. You can like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Thank you for tuning us. Thank you for tuning in, for another episode of Grizzlies Digest Dirt Outdoors, saying so long and peace. Have a good one.